Hey there guys, KAuss back again. So I've actually recorded a 46, 47, and a 48 run just about a few seconds ago. Unfortunately, the sound volumes are all bad, so I'm gonna try to record a 48 and see if I get lucky while recording here and beat it with you guys watching. And I just did a 46 on this map, and this map has pretty decent density, so hopefully this could carry me. And for you guys just watching, I will show the gear a little later, show the build. And I'd rather not start with a boss fight without any stacks. So let's lure them out to somewhere that has white mobs, and let's let some of our AoE ticks kill them. I just don't want to run into like 2-3 mobs at once, although the last attempt I did quite a bit of that on 47 and actually came out on top, which is nice. So let's go and collect up some more. Yeah, this way we're really just fighting the white mobs and not so much the boss. I do have Amara's, so this poison enchant here really does little to nothing. And I am running a seismic slam with Call of the Ancients right now. Call of the Ancients is like the new beeswax, or the old beeswax that just got some new bees, I guess. Some people are running Whirlwind. If you're looking at PTR right now, the top of the charts is filled with IK barbs. There are still Raycor ones out there, but I think there's some 53s done now. And most of them, from what I can tell at least, have been too lazy to transmog their stuff, so you could tell they're IK barbs. And I know Detox has just posted his 50 clear, which is pretty impressive. I'm not sure how many of these guys here in the top, and he doesn't run IK full set, he runs a Whirlwind, which is pretty neat. But I don't know how many of these guys up top are using what meta they're using, but then there's a couple of things right now that's going on. The Bastion set, Focus and Restraint set, has a really big buff right now, and I think the other one is going to be the Broken Promise, the 100% crit, although in its current iteration I don't think it will stay the way that it is, so don't hold your breath into being able to do that when this goes live. Yeah, I'm just trying to draw more mobs here is the reason why I'm charging past and not killing everything. Damn, that point blank charge kind of took me into my prop. So this map is really, really good. I mean, if you're going to do any kind of a run, I've had really good luck on this map. I have not gotten 48 to a point where I'm this far ahead, early going. And this is without any real elites that we're fighting. This is all just purely white mob, because I'm running 0 elite damage right now. So my rifts live and die off of white mob variety and amount. And of course this is one of the easier mob varieties out there. But it's just that there's so many of them that we've been doing good so far. I have been, however, really, really unlucky with mob types, and I'm usually getting yellow mobs. I wish I was getting more blues. Like, I'm willing to fight 3 packs of blues at once versus 1 pack of yellow. With this, I try to, as much as possible, drag as many things involved in the fight as possible. Just because at that point, the procs from all of the stuff, the AoE procs, are gonna help me to take everything down. Oh man, having Maros and then not having to worry about the poison, it's really, really nice. Yeah, so we're gonna need some backup here. Oh, this is nice. I mean, freaking charge so good by itself that you get a large enough mob like at first, I don't even have to fight him the traditional way, like the hard way. Which is really good. I mean, if we could end this here, I might be lucky enough while recording to actually show you guys a 48 clear, which is awesome. And this is really dependent on rifts too. I just did one at first where it took the full 15 minutes plus another 2 for the rift boss. And it was that ice cave map, which is the absolute worst map, and I think I got that roll on all 3 of my runs at first. Oh god, that's stupid, I ran the wrong way. Yeah, so I did that ice cave map, and it's a day and night difference right now. I'm more than double timer speed, which is nice. I mean, I'm just hoping I get another yellow pack. That's 3 and 0 blues on this run so far. But yeah, if I could end it on floor 1, that would be good. I don't want to go to a floor 2. This density, this pack selection is really good. I really don't want to do anything else but just finish it here. Yeah, this is a walk in the park. Now, in my other video, I was talking about how some people like the more mobility builds and stuff like that. I really like two-hand builds that are clunky and slow and have big numbers. That's my play style, and I think with this patch, it's given me an avenue to actually play the way that I like, which is awesome. You know, and today's Saturday, it's not even Friday, the Play Your Way Fridays. But it's something to bring me back. I haven't played a lot in a long time. I mean, I got a new job, I got promoted, and driving 2 hours one way, or 1 hour one way, so 2 hours in my day is spent basically driving to work. Like what I do though, so kind of like my job right now. Basically same thing, just promoted. I'm in sales, but coming home now, I just don't have as much time to play Diablo like I used to. But man, the time that I do spend playing it now though with this PTR looks promising, and I might delve back into it. But yeah, I mean, I've laid off since 2.1.2 because there was nothing for us, Barbs. Now, right now, I'm looking really good into beating this rift. The only thing that would kill it is Orlash, and I hope that guy wouldn't show up. And also, Sastrix. Do not want her to show up either, or him, whatever the hell that is. Those two guys can basically melt Call of the Ancients, and if I get either of those, I'm going to be in big trouble. There's very little hope in me beating them on a 48, regardless of how quickly I can do the rift. But I mean, you can see the potential in which I can actually clear this rift. I mean, there's no doubting that I could clear 48 with this kind of a kill speed. Now, at this rate, I don't have to kill blue mobs, and they show up right when I already clear so much progression. I can just continue to fight white mobs until the Guardian shows up. Like that. Oh, that's a lot of backtracking there, buddy. Just breaking my balls. Impossible. Oh, Butcher's not bad. I mean, he's got a couple of attacks that would hurt like hell, but I think I could just kind of stand away and let my Call of the Ancient guys tank him a bit. Or I could stand in the next room, and that would prevent me from basically dying. This is the meta now though, guys. I mean, this is what you're supposed to do. You don't really fight anymore with IK. You just kind of do this. Although, I mean, I wish I could show you something different, but this is actually the best and quickest way to kill something, because the Call of the Ancients is your single target skill, and they do it a lot better than you. In my skill bar, I have Berserker Rage, which I don't use a lot, or I don't plan around it during the rift. I do enough damage, combination of myself and the Call of the Ancient guys, to not have to worry about Berserker Rage. And all the DOTs that I'm ticking on them actually kill them really quick too. But during a single boss fight like this, they get the full benefit of Berserker Rage the entire fight. And by doing that, I don't have to worry about... And that was scary. I might have to step back a little bit just to be out of range of that. Because right now my cheat death is procced. Dude, you gotta go back there, man. You got Bukatho's ring, bro. What you doing? Being a pussy, bro. There you go. Dude, I got it. Just go. Don't worry about me. Just kill that guy. Oh, one shot. Alright, so what I might have to do is get out of line of sight. Yeah, I might have to get out of line of sight. Yeah. Cormac doesn't have to do any fighting. He just has to get in range for the Bocatos to tick down. I mean, we got 5 minutes here, so I am going to be in the 48s, I think. Barring nothing stupid happens here. But you never know. I mean, if he knocks me out one more time, I'm going to have to wait for these cooldowns to come back. I might have 1 or 2 more rotations in it before I have to do something crazy. But yeah, I mean, you do what you gotta do. There's nothing right now in my gear that is optimized to take this kind of damage. I have way too much hit points compared to resist. So that's one thing where I have to alleviate. Like 671 is way too damn high. All of my EHP is in actual hit points and not mitigation. With more mitigation and lower hit point, not only will my survival rate be better, I don't have to dodge as much. I might be able to sustain some kind of other types of AoE and damage. But yeah, until that happens, it doesn't really matter at this point. I mean, I'm just going to fight like this. There's no shame in it. Because this is a pet build. This is what pet builds do. Except for my pet build's a bit more active, because during the rift, you can't stand around like this. You will have to heal, and you will have to fight. And at times you have to fight multiple mobs, and there's really no choice there. But right now there is a choice, and I could do this. Now there are easier bosses that I can fight, but this is the luxury of this build, is unlike Raycor's, I can choose to fight 80% of things and win, or have a strategy to win. But when you fight Raycor's, you're kind of hoping and praying that what you're fighting is gonna let you win. So I like this a lot. Just having that freedom. I don't know if I could shoot for 50. I mean, in the perfect world, if I get like a map like this again, I don't see why not. I mean, we're probably gonna finish this with like 2 minutes and some odds left, so I honestly think that we could push one more level, 49. 50 might not be possible, because I think I'm gonna die a lot just from the random stuff unless I fix my gear. So until that happens, we don't know. But hey, 2 minutes 52 seconds left, rank 11. Not bad, right? So let me go ahead and pick all this up, go back into town, show you guys everything. And I honestly, this is my first try after beating that 40, or losing the last 48, and I didn't think we were gonna beat it quite quickly. But that's recording luck or streaming luck, although I am not streaming right now. So items, let's go through that first, because you guys are probably itching to see. This is a live item. I actually get to keep this when I'm done, so that's actually pretty neat. This thing here is a PTR item, but I do have a live one that's about as good. A little bit lower crit damage. This one here is a PTR item. This is a live item. This is a live item. Live item. This is a PTR item, but I have one just nearly as good. Of course, this is a PTR item. PTR item. This is a PTR item. I do not have one that's good. Without a socket, I do have one that's actually pretty good, but without a socket, which is this guy. So I can kind of prematurely run this when it launches, and I'll be doing okay. And this is a live item. This is a PTR item, and I'm going to miss the hell out of this. I have to go with this as the alternate, which is not bad, but man, I am going to miss the hell out of that Mars, because that makes a lot of bosses so trivial, and I could do what you just seen there. Details wise, this is kind of what I'm rolling with. I'm rolling with 40% physical damage. Now, the physical damage that I'm using right now, and Call of the Ancients, I got 3 pieces: shoulder, chest, and IK. So perfect rolls on that for 45% damage. So this is quite gear intensive, and my gear is pretty optimized for the damage output of this build, just not the defense yet. And then I also have Seismic Slam, 30%, which is from the boots and helm. I don't really think there's anything better than to have that. That allows me to heal while I'm casting, and then on top of that, do really good damage. The damage output right now between myself and the Call of the Ancients is about equal. I think they reach about 250, 260, somewhere north of 250, between that and 300 mil on the max stacks. And depending on some bosses, if they like, you know, have ads and stuff like that, we can actually sustain 25 stacks on top of all the extra bonuses and actually kill quite quickly. But if you look my resistor really low, I would like to be somewhere in the natural 1200 or 1300 or so, and then from there on out I could go ahead and focus more on having less life and more heals per slam. So over here, nothing really special. I am Paragon 630 at this moment, and I do have 3 out of 4 things filled up completely, of course. And the way that I do that, just to show you, so core, I didn't put any in the extra fury. So my theory behind this is that when you have more fury, it keeps you up top more. And the meta right now for these 2 rings here, the Bastions rings, is they give you 150% base damage depending on your fury. So if you have max fury, you're at 150, and it kind of decreases down from there, I guess, by percentage and multiplies by it. That's my assumption. I don't know how it works exactly. But the higher you keep it, the more damage you do on an average. But what I'm thinking is that since you're gaining the same amount of fury, no matter how much or how big your pull is, you're never gonna out heal it more or less. So what I could do is I could slam once and have them basically charge right back to full the smaller the pull is, versus I had to charge maybe 2-3 seconds to get it back up to full. And it pans out the same. So instead of wasting points into that, I might as well put points into strength, and basically just relieve this altogether. Not only that, but when you get to a point where you die and you come back, it's a slower ramp up if you have a bigger pull. But if it's a quicker ramp up to a bigger pool or a smaller pool like this, you also get up to max damage quicker. So that's my theory on it. I mean, a single slam, it takes about 2 hits for them to kind of regain everything each. And then from there on out, they're at full blast again. And I could go ahead and maintain that a little bit better. So movement speed, of course, and all strength. And then here I took it out of cooldowns because cooldowns is a luxury, not a necessity. I would say that all of these stats here help a ton. I mean, the more attack speed that you have, the more attacks the Call Ancients have, the more slams that you can do, the quicker your slams will be. They'll allow you to move out of harm's way. And of course, this is just damage, big numbers. And then you have here everything but life regen. I mean, my life pool is so big right now. 1,000 per second is complete garbage. I could stand here for an hour and not get healed completely. So this is useless. But all the extra points go in there that once these are filled up. And then basically with these guys here, Gold Fine, once again, it's useless. So 600 is a pretty good spot to be for this build, as you don't really need cooldown. Although it wouldn't hurt. This build is really cooldown centric. That's why, like, when you look at the skills here now, we're looking at skills. We got Shattered Ground, and you guys notice, remember I said I had physical damage on my amulet and my bracer. I do use Fire Slam. The reason for it is because of the knockup. All the white mobs that I fight, no matter what they are, unless they are like some of those demonic tremors and the like, and demonic tremors are easy enough as a group that they don't kill me. So the things that I can't knock up, I don't mind. But the things that I can save me, like those Archon guys, are so freaking strong. Seismic Slam takes care of them. They never get to attack when I have this equipped. It is better than Rumble. I mean, just from the damage alone, 735, 620, it's 130 or 115% more damage. It's a waste of damage if I compared it with physical, which I only get 40% more. So with this one here, even though you're not matched with the element, it's such a strong attack that you'd use it for just the knockup alone. It's worth it. And then Wrath of Berserker, because I have the pants to give all runes. These guys here all activate, and what you gain, I would say, out of this is Ariat's Whale. It's completely useless. You could ignore this. I hope they change this soon because this is a wasted opportunity here. Insanity, definitely nice. If I had to pick any one of these for higher rift, I would say Insanity and or Striding Giant. The 50% reduction or damage. I mean, you need damage to beat it, and you need this to survive. So it's pick your poison. But since you have the pants, I mean, what the hell? Like, these are all good. Slaughter is gonna basically attach to your bloodshed and just deal massive damage when you're in groups. That's why, like, the more mobs you could control with this particular build, the quicker things die. So I mean, that's why I was charging around like crazy and getting as many mobs as possible. And the survivability of the build is good enough that I can actually survive that. And Thrive on KAuss is really nice. This is what keeps me alive when I slam. So these 4 here really pays off in dividends. There's so many items that you would need to stack just to get this alone that the pants are worth it. I mean, imagine the pants having 5,364 life per fairy spent. That alone on the pants is worth it. I mean, and then you gain all these. It's ridiculous. Then you have Merciless Assault. This is my escape move. You guys know that I love using this as an escape. I love Leap a little bit more, but Furious Charge is so much better because it has a built-in cooldown. I can't say that enough. Time and time again. I mean, I know some people play min-max and then they roll for the perfect scenario, and you might not need Furious Charge, but I rather play for the average. And for me personally, I could beat 45, 46 pretty consistently, which is a pretty happy place that I'm in, instead of a miracle shot and, you know, try to go for 50. Impunity, just because right now, excuse me, the Barb skill tree, there just really isn't anything good. Yeah, there's nothing that, I mean, I could put Sprint in, but honestly speaking, if you're going to roll the good Rift, Sprint is not a value. Sprint is a nice gap closer for when you have those bad riffs, but you might as well give up on the bad riffs and focus on the good ones. And when you're in the good ones, Sprint is not something that plays a role. It doesn't play a role in speeding it up or doing anything more, but Impunity does. As you can see, I got one shot basically from the spears for the Butcher, and that's what Impunity. But I'm really, really lacking in resist, and the higher my base resist is, the more this is going to be worth. Then you have Bloodshed, which self-explanatory with Seismic Slam, especially now Call of the Ancients, they AoE. So man, this is really, really good, along with the buff from Wrath of Berserker. And of course, Ancient's Fury. A lot of people think Call of the Ancients, go fire, so much more damage. It doesn't matter. I mean, you've seen the power of these guys here. They're really only used for the end fight. My Seismic Slam, if I built around my Seismic Slam, I could clear the rifts even faster. But Call of the Ancients are really, really good single target. There's no way I beat this without that. And that was the Achilles heel in live, is that they don't do enough damage, despite the fact that they were the best single target option. Now they just boosted the hell out of the damage here, and it's amazing. Now these passives here are for high rifts. What I mean by that is they're the most damage focused: Rampage, Berserker Rage, and Ruthless. Berserker Rage, I already told you guys I don't use in the Rift. This is only saved for the boss to make up for the loss of Rampage stack. So this is for the Rift, this is for the boss. These two guys here interchange, this is why they're here. Ruthless is for every damn thing. Whenever you get into Ruthless range, it just speeds everything up, and when you're fighting Rift bosses, it's nice to have this, because when they're enraged, you want to kill them quicker during that time, and you can spend a little bit more time during the easy phase, but at the end phase you want this. And not only that, but once you get big massive groups and high rifts, the life that they have remaining, you don't one-shot them at 40% or less, so they might actually sustain like a few slams, and those procs from those dots or the AoEs, I mean, they hurt the things that are around them, and you could get a really, really big stack of stuff just blowing up next to each other. So Ruthless is really, really nice. It's one of the biggest damage adders. I can't take this out of this build at all. Nerves of Steel, this is the new one. Because this build is so cooldown centric, if you are dying or dead while these two guys have not come back fully, my advice to you playing this build is wait until they come off a cooldown and then get back up. There's no point to waking up fighting. You won't have Fury, you won't have mitigation, you won't have damage, you won't have the heals from actually doing your slams. You have nothing. Without Wrath of the Berserker, this build does not work. So if these are off, you can't get them. And Wrath of Berserker is up, you don't have these guys to sustain it, this build doesn't work. So that's the whole key here. And you need this to prevent dying, because if you could prevent one death and keep these on cooldown and ready to go, like what I had earlier with the boss, you die, great, you come back, you cast these right away, and this is now your buffer for the cooldown for these guys. So what happened there is that you could sustain one more hit, because this cools down immediately after you die. Of course, for the hardcore fans out there, you could run a couple of G-Rifts lower and not play in a place where you get one shot. That's just stupid, playing hardcore. You always build more, mitigation than getting one shot. But if you're playing softcore and you're going for high rifts, this is going to be your buffer to cool these back down. So this is a skill where, although it's defensive, it doesn't help anything. If you look at the Barb tree, outside of Brawler, you're not gaining any more damage out of any of this stuff. So there's no point in putting anything in there. Some might go Boon of the Picatos is nice. Yeah, but I'd rather not wake up, get one shot to death before I could even heal, because I have no Fury. So it takes a few seconds for this build once again to ramp up. Once it does, though, you are super tanky, and the results show, right? Now, one thing I would like to say about the gear, I do have Amara's, and it rolled amazing, so that's the reason why I use it. And you see a stupid poison resistance on it, but whatever. with this right now, what I like about it is it makes a lot of bosses trivial, especially Gon. Like if I roll that guy, it's basically heals. I don't even have to move in his cloud, which is amazing. The only thing with it is I still rather prefer Hellfire, and the reason why that is despite the fact that you already seen me say that all of these are your damage stuff. Well, there's a few ways you could go about this. Of course, one, you could think about getting Bunapakathos in there, and that makes this build less damaging when dying. I mean, taking 30 seconds out is a lot. I mean, as you can see with my death and stuff, unless I'm getting one shot, 30 seconds I can live out or outlive, and basically your cooldowns come back. It makes you more uptime centric even if you die a few times. You can also throw in their animosity, because your Call of the Ancients is hitting things all the time. And if you're playing multiplayer, right now I'm playing with the Templar, so I get the 10% that he provides me, but when I'm in a multiplayer game, I throw this in there. Then it makes up for the lack of him, and it plays the same style. If not, I do have 10% less, so that means less slams and more waiting around for your Call of the Ancients to do damage. In a pinch, that also helps with your healing and stuff like that, but you do gain 20 extra Fury, so a little bit more ramp up time, but it's not going to be a huge difference. This is another good one. And the more attack speed that you have, the quicker it refills too, which is nice. So Pain Enhancer, when you get things that bleed around you, you get a massive bonus to how quickly you gain Fury back, which is awesome. And then you also have Superstition, which is always good. A lot of things you get one-shotted by you can prevent with Superstition. So those spears, I believe it would be a range attack earlier. It would take 20% less damage from it. Why not? Toughest Nail is great if you find that your Call of the Ancients are dying. Usually that means that you're probably a toughest nails away from keeping them alive, because when you boost yourself in armor, it also helps their EHP. But this here, you're mitigating damage. You do not help your Call of the Ancients at all, as far as I can tell. I don't think they get the benefit from this, but you do give them the benefit if you do this. And then Unforgiving. It's just another mechanic to Animosity. If you have downtime for Call of the Ancients, just give you some options, but I just recommend staying down. There's no point to be a hero. Animosity wins over this right now. And that's basically about it. So if you get a Hellfire, alright, you get the staple, these 4 staples, any one of these, and then you add one of the optional ones of your choice. In my opinion, that's probably BIS for this build. Other than that, I think everything is set. I don't think I'm going to change out the bracers. I mean, strong arms are really good. I just rather throw the 450 Vit away for another 100 resist all right now. That's one place I could get it. The helm. Excuse me. I probably, I don't know, lose the 11% life here and gain another, what is it, 11% is like 400 something Vit. Yes, I could lose that. Get another resist and I could roll for it, but I don't even bother. It's PTR. And then this guy here, I could lose the 4 to 500 and then gain another 100 here as well. But the secondary resist right now is really good. And then also the damage reduced from melee is really good. So if not, I could also get reduced damage from elite on chess, which in my opinion is probably the best. And then you get strength, elite damage resist, and then also Call of the Ancients damage. So that's probably the BIS for this. This is about as good as you could roll it right now. Non-ancient, of course. These pants just got ancient. These are really good. This is once again the kind of rolls that you want on here. And then you also have the boots, same thing. If you don't have the damage there, really nothing else but speed goes there, and you get a few more points in strength. So yeah, this is the way the build works right now. If you have any questions, you guys know where to find me. Please drop me a line and tell me how you like it. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.